How you doing, everybody? Nick DiVirgilio here, and today's video is about multi-track drum recording with the UA Apollo 8P. All right, this video, I'm speaking to my fellow brethren, the drummers of the world out there. Now, a lot of us do things like play drums in our home studios, basements, wherever, and record drums for people remotely. They send us their tracks, we play drums to their music and send them the drum tracks back. Also, what's really popular today is drummers really making a name for themselves doing things like drum covers and stuff like that on YouTube, and also education via the internet, YouTube and things like that. So it is very much worth it, and I really hope you consider buying an interface such as the UA Apollo 8P, because this particular one sounds great. We're going to get into the details in just a second, but it is worth the investment to make your drums and your recording sound as good as possible, not only for the recordings you're going to make for when you're just making music and sending drums back for people and their songs, but when you're going to do education and maybe give a drum lesson online, even if it's like a Skype lesson, or if you're going to do a drum cover and things like that, you want your drums to sound as good as possible. And this UA box here is really cool. So let's get in the details right now. The UA Apollo 8P has 8 analog inputs on the back that are perfect for a small drum kit like this. Now I have 2 rack toms, a floor tom, all the cymbals and stuff like that. You could choose to put mics on everything like I did here. I have a snare mic, all the toms are mic'd, kick drum, 2 overheads, and a room mic. But you could do something simple like just having 2 mics, where I'd have maybe one in front of the drum kit and maybe one farther back, one overhead and one farther back. There's all kinds of different ways to do that. But if you're going to be recording for people's songs, you want to give them as much options as possible to manipulate those sounds. So I've put mics on just about everything. If I had one less tom, I'd probably put a mic on the bottom of the snare. Some people would ask, why don't you put a mic on the hi-hat? Well, I think the hi-hat's getting picked up a lot by the overheads. It's just the way I'm doing it today, but again, there's tons of options. The Apollo 8P faithfully recreates all kinds of classic mic pre's from Neve, API, and UA, and it's just fantastic. They sound really great. There's 8 Unison mic preamps in here. There's some great features about this box. One of them is that it has onboard DSP, which means there's a lot of power inside the box itself. What I did here today is this. On the kick drum channel, I have a classic Neve 1073 plugin. On the snare drum channel, I put a UA 610A, another great old mic pre. For the toms, the 3 tom mics, I'm just going straight into the Apollo 8P and directly into Pro Tools, not using one of their mic pre plugs. And it's incredibly clean sounding, so it's working perfectly for that. The 2 overhead mics, I'm using the 1073s. And finally, for the room mic, I'm going directly into the 8P, again to save on some DSP power, and again, it's sounding really clean. The play-in drum example I did was exactly how I have it set up. I put a slight bit of EQ on the kick drum. One thing that's difficult in this particular situation, especially when you're recording drums on your own, you're not in a studio where you're in the tracking room and the engineers in the control room, you have to kind of tweak and go back and forth to get the tones just right, or keep them flat. It's your choice. This 8P makes it really easy to put some EQ on and go back and listen, see if you like it, then tweak and add a little bit more, take a little bit away, that kind of thing. I just put a little bit of EQ on the kick drum only, just to kind of let you hear what it's all about. On this 1073, what's classic about this is that you can roll off some of the mid-range on the kick drum around that 350 hertz sort of spot, and it totally changes and makes the kick drum sound nice and warm. So what I want to do is, really quick so you can hear the difference, I'm going to turn this kick drum off at the bottom of the mic pre, just hit the EQ button. It's lit up, which means it's disconnected. Now let's go back to the Pro Tools screen. Okay. I'll do a quick bit of recording on the drums without that EQ in the kick drum. Then I'll put the EQ back in, play it again, and you can hear the difference. And I'll solo it for you so you can really hear what I'm talking about. All right, here's the kick drum by itself with no EQ. I'm playing on these beautiful Mapex Armory drums. The kick drum sounds great just as it is. But now let me put that EQ back on like I was telling you, and I'll give you a demonstration of that. Back over there. engage the EQ, back to Pro Tools, and here you go, with the EQ in. It's more round, it's more lush, and it fits in with the rest of the drum kit. So now I'm going to go back and play the whole drum kit with that EQ engaged on the kick drum and show you what I'm talking about. Very easy to do, and you can really dial in the tones of your drum kit before you send them out, either to the web or to your client for the song that you're recording on. One of the best things about the Apollo 8P from UA is the ease of use. First thing you do when you get it out of the box is make sure you register it and install all of the software, the drivers, all of those things, and then it's just up and running. Simple as that. They make it really easy to monitor and to record the plugins that they offer in the 8P. Just below the main meters of the master left and right here are two buttons. This is how you monitor yourself or record the plugins that they provide. When you have it on UAD Record, when it's highlighted, anything you have going on, whether it's the send, the mic pre's, there's all kinds of killer effects inside the 8P that you can add to your tones. Those will get recorded directly to your DAW. If you want to just monitor through the thing, still have the effects on, but you don't want the effects or the mic pre's or any of that kind of stuff recorded, just put it on UAD monitor. Super simple and a great way to experiment with tones and to get the best sound possible into your recordings. Now I'm going to keep this video pretty simple because there's a lot of videos that our guru here, Mitch Gallagher, has done a lot of stuff for all of the Apollo products. So if you check out the text below this video today, I'm going to give you links to a lot of the older videos where Mitch gets into all kinds of really minute details about how these things work, the ins and outs, all of that kind of stuff, so you can go and research and get a lot more detail than I'm going to show you in this video today. I just wanted to encourage you to check out this particular box because it makes your drums sound really good and it's so easy to use. And drummers, I'll mention it again, it's worth the investment to make your recording sound as good as possible when you're at home. That being said, when you go to a channel strip and you want to put in one of the mic pre's or one of the effects, just below the main mic volume right here at the top, it says Unison. When you press that Unison button, a box opens up and it gives you some options to choose from. There's lots of guitar and bass options if you were going to plug your guitars or your basses directly into the front, into the high Z inputs here. Or the second one down is preamp and channel strips, and that's where your different options for Neve, APIs, there's a Manley one here, and some of the UA mic pre's as well. Then, when you want to get into some more things, when you want to add effects or some different options, you go into the inserts, which is just below that. You have all kinds of different options there as well to add compressors, EQs, reverbs, delays, just a huge myriad of things. Every channel has 48-volt phantom power for your condenser mics if you have them, high-pass filters, a phase button, which is very convenient, and also a pad, which is great because sometimes, obviously drums, you get very loud snare drums, you're going to peak out the channel very quickly, so you've got a pad on each channel to bring down the level and then to get it just in the right spot. There's all kinds of different routing options, panning, soloing, mute, all kinds of stuff like that, and you set the level of the monitor how you want to hear yourself being recorded with the faders right here. Again, super simple to use, and you're going to make yourself some great drum recordings like this. There you have it, everybody. The UA Apollo 8P, a killer investment if you are a drummer, if you're going to make drum recordings at home, project studio, you're going to be educating online, making your drum covers on YouTube. Again, it's worth the investment to buy something as cool as this. This one is incredibly easy to use, the 8P, lots of features, faithful recreations of killer old mic pre's, EQs, and compressors and stuff like that. Your drums will sound really good and you'll make nice, clean recordings for the people listening at home. And make sure you check out the text below the video. Like I said before, you'll get links to all kinds of other videos getting into detail about all the Apollo products, including the 8P. So if you want any more information about this UA, Apollo 8P, or any other Universal Audio product, just contact your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thanks a lot for watching.